Walking a Thin Line is a story I've been meaning to write since I was 15. It's my story, but it's not so unique. It's written for anyone that's ever been told that they're not good enough, anyone that's been told that they can't do it, anyone that's ever suffered low self-esteem or bullying, or anyone that's just lost their sense of inner fire and sense of self-belief. So I was bullied a lot as a kid. I was told I was fat, I was ugly, I was never any good, and my teachers and my family knew about the bullying. My parents used to tell me sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. So I kept on telling myself that until by the time I was 14, I was diagnosed with anorexia and depression, and I was pulled out of school because I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I was never hospitalised, I was never went to a psychologist. I grew up on a farm that was 55 kilometres from the nearest town, and that was a rural community of 2,500 people. So my parents and my family and friends were my support crew, and they really were the best support crew I could ask for. I still don't necessarily agree with some of their tactics and approach to the situation, but I know that they were just doing the best they could. And I'm pleased to say that within 6 months I was basically fully recovered, and I've never had a relapse. So yeah, it just goes to show what can be done when you've just got love around you. I kept a diary from the point when I knew that people were worried about me, but I couldn't see what they could see, and I thought that their concerns were invalid and unwarranted, right through the point where when I was ready to make a change, when I knew that I was no longer living the life that I wanted to live, and I had a bit of an idea about the kind of life that I did want to lead. So I was ready to make a change from that point onwards. On the final pages of that diary, I wrote then that I would one day write a book about this, so that others may gain some kind of insight from me and my family and what we went through, so that maybe others mightn't have to go through what we went through, or might find some kind of solace in the fact that we saw the light at the end of the tunnel and we got through it, and other people can too. So for years I wanted to write this book, but I still struggle with self-confidence, and I was thinking, who am I to write about it? And it's just my story. What is that to anyone else? But then in 2013, I was at a health and wellbeing forum, and Dr. Michael Carr-Gregg was talking about mental health issues in teenagers, and he said that the single most gut-wrenching mental health issue that he deals with in teenagers is anorexia, because still no one knows what causes it, and the solution seems so simple: just eat food. But it's not that simple, and it was after his speech that I realised nothing's changed in the time that I struggled with anorexia and depression. And I went and spoke to him afterwards, and I told him my story, and he encouraged me to write this book, not only for myself, not only for people that are struggling with anorexia, but also their families, and also the medical profession who still don't understand it. So I did. I started writing Walking a Thin Line, but then those same struggles came up. I was battling with the self-doubt and questioning my validity, and what really brought it home to me was when my baby brother's girlfriend was airlifted to Sydney Hospital from remote New South Wales with heart failure due to anorexia. And that just jolted me, and it was such a shock. And this was still going on, and it was far too close to home. And that's when it really, I took the pressure off, writing it for myself, and just this is not my story anymore. It's other people's story, and if I can help just one other person that's going through anything similar to what I was going through, that's all I'm after. That's all I want for anyone, because I just want people to be able to live their very best life. We've only got one life, and the only success in life is being able to live it your way. And you know, if you're struggling under pressures of yourself, under health pressures, you know, anything like that, you know, I just want to help people be able to, you know, let go of that and move forward with their lives. I mean, I still struggle sometimes, you know, I have highs and lows just like anyone else, but that is life, you know. There's no wave without a trough, there's no stars without darkness, but just being okay with all that and being well enough to enjoy the good times and mindful enough to, you know, ride the wave when times are tough. You know, that's what it's about. So, walking a thin line, Diary of a Girl on the road to self-discovery is my story, but it could very well be your story too.